Dear students, welcome to our class. Today we are going to see chapter 2 in your supplementary, that is a pact with the sun. The name of the chapter is Friendly Mongoose. I hope most of them know the story. It's taken from the Panchtantra. Let's come. Most of us like pets, and we have pets like dog, cat, and so many, isn't it? But this story describes about an unusual pet, a mongoose. Now I am going to ask you a question that how many of you have seen a mongoose? Let me tell you something about mongoose. A mongoose is a sleek, fast mammal that has a brown and grey coat and a long body, pointy nose, and short legs with sharp claws. It's well known for their ability to fight and kill snakes, particularly cobras. Basically, mongoose are omnivorous, which means they eat both meat and vegetation. Typically, they prefer to eat small animals such as birds, reptiles, fish, snake, crabs, frogs, and insects. They will also supplement their diet with eggs, nuts, fruits, roots, berries, and seeds. And it's very friendly animal too. Do you know what is meant by moral? The term moral means, everyone knows this word, but some of them did not know what it's refer. Isn't it? Am I right? Okay, let me tell you. Moral means a story has a particular kind of message known as a moral. A moral is a type of message that teaches a reader a life lesson such as what is right or wrong. Listen carefully, it teaches that life lessons such as what is right or wrong. How to make decision or how to treat other people. Okay. So moral, every story has a moral and every story conveys some messages. So that message insists a life lesson such as what is right or wrong and how to make decision or how to treat other people. Okay. Are you clear? Okay, let's go to the story. Before going to detailed explanation, you just know that moral of the story. Moral, look before you leap. It means that you need to think twice or thrice before doing anything. Listen carefully. Look before you leap. This is the proverb. This is the moral of the story. What it refers? It means that you need to think twice or thrice before doing anything. The smart thinking is vital because it will help you to avoid various problems and also reduce the possibility of facing complex problems. Can you able to understand? We should think twice or thrice before doing anything. Okay? Let's move to the story. Characters of the story: farmer and his wife and his son, mongoose, snake. The friendly mongoose. Once a farmer and his wife lived in a village with their small son. They loved him very much. "We must have a pet," the farmer said to his wife one day. "When our son grows up, he will need a companion. This pet will be our son's companion." His wife liked the idea. One evening, the farmer brought with him a tiny mongoose. "It's a baby mongoose," said his wife, "but will soon be fully grown. He will be a friend to our son." One day, the farmer's wife wanted to go to the market. She fed the baby and rocked him to sleep in his little cradle. Picking up the basket, and she said to her husband, "I'm off to the bazaar. The baby is sleeping. Keep an eye on him. Frankly, I don't like to leave the child alone with the mongoose." "You needn't be afraid," said the farmer. "The mongoose is a friendly animal. It's as sweet as our baby, and they are the best of friends, you know." The wife went away, and the farmer, having nothing to do in this house, decided to go out and take a look at his fields. Not far away, he ran into some friends on the way back and did not return for quite some time. The farmer's wife finished her shopping and came back home with a basket full of groceries. She saw the mongoose sitting outside as if waiting for her. On seeing her, he ran to welcome her as was customary. The farmer's wife took one look at the mongoose and screamed, "Blood!" she cried. The face and paws of the mongoose were smeared with blood. Suddenly she came to the worst conclusion. "You wicked animal, you have killed my baby!" she screamed hysterically. She was blind with rage and with all her strength brought down the heavy basket full of grocery on the blood-smeared mongoose and ran inside to the child's cradle. The baby was fast asleep, but on the floor lay a black snake, torn and bleeding. In a flash, she realized what had happened. She ran out looking for the mongoose. "Oh, you saved my child! You killed the snake! What have I done?" she cried, and touching the mongoose, who lay dead still. Unaware of her sobbing, the farmer's wife, who had acted hastily and rashly, stared long at the dead mongoose. Then she heard the baby crying. Wiping her tears, she went in to feed him. Dear students, what do you learn from the story? One should not be judgmental and come to hasty conclusions. Before making a decision, the whole situation should be understood with a calm mind. Actions taken in anger have a higher chance of going wrong. What is the moral of the story? Look before you leap. You need to think twice or thrice before doing anything. Let's come to the summary of the story. The story begins with a farmer suggesting to his wife that they should get a pet as a companion for their small son. The farmer's wife liked the idea, and the farmer brings home a baby mongoose as a pet. In 5 or 6 months, the mongoose grows to its full size while the farmer's son is still a baby in the cradle who mostly either cries or sleeps. One day the farmer's wife goes to the market. She tells the farmer that the baby is sleeping and he should keep an eye on him. She also expresses her discomfort of leaving the child with the fully grown mongoose. But the farmer takes this lightly. He tells his wife that the mongoose is very friendly and she should not be afraid. Once the wife leaves for the market, the farmer also goes to his field. When the farmer's wife returned from the market with a bag full of groceries, the mongoose greets her as always. But she noticed blood on the face and paws of the mongoose and assuming that the mongoose has killed her son. She hits the mongoose hard with her heavy grocery bag. She then runs inside the house to check on her son, who she finds is sleeping calmly. On the floor, though, is a black snake all turned up and bleeding. Realizing that the mongoose had actually saved the life of her son, she runs out again to check on the mongoose. She touches the mongoose and realizes that the mongoose is dead. She cries and feels repentant for hastily coming to a conclusion and killing this mongoose. Let's come to the next session. Here I provided a list of new words along with their meanings. It will help you much easier and better understanding of this story. Thank you.